this is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Coca-Cola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Vinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, Prime Minister pays tribute to the sacrifice of Girmatiers. State-owned businesses turning profits. And government's rebuilding exercise will focus on benefiting all Fijians. The courage and sacrifice of Girmatiers or indentured labourers is a source of inspiration to Fijians. Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama paid tribute to the ancestors of the Indo-Fijian community in Parliament today.
To agree, wait, I'll tell you.
Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama was responding to a motion by opposition MP Professor Biman Prasad for a public holiday to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the end of the indentured labour system.
They know when things have gone too far, so to save their reputations at the end of a scorching week for the opposition, they've put their heads together and come up with a plan. And it goes like this, Madam Speaker. Okay, let's take everyone's mind off a bad week for us with a diversion. Let's make a last-ditch effort to box the government into a corner and make ourselves look good.
Bainimarama says the motion by the NFP is a gimmick because the party has been backing Sodelpa and its divisive policies all week.
Bainimarama, of course, will have to say yes because he won't be able to say no. Madam Speaker, the answer is no. And it is no because this is an empty gesture, a political stunt. It is no because the descendants of the Girmatiers who have also suffered from the cyclone understand that we must put those needs first.
The Prime Minister adds that a one-day commemoration will never do justice to the hard work and sacrifice of Girmatiers. Their efforts, he says, must be mainstreamed into Fiji's history, heritage and education.
We know the best way to celebrate the Girmatiers and their contribution to Fiji. It is a living monument in here and now, not some historical commemoration. It is the Constitution that guarantees them genuine equality for the first time.
Bainimarama also adds the priority for Fiji must remain the rebuilding process after TC Winston. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says executive chairpersons running state-owned companies isn't a bad thing. He was asked in Parliament why 7 entities don't have a proper executive management. Ritika Pratap reports.
Public Enterprise Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum has clarified that the Fiji Hardwood Corporation and Post Fiji Limited are not run by executive chairs. Said Qayyum says the ministry monitors about 25 state-owned enterprises. Airports Fiji Limited, Biosecurity Authority of Fiji and Fiji Pine Limited have an executive chair, whilst the Fiji Sugar Corporation and Tourism Fiji are under the specific line ministries.
We know that what happened post 5 December 2006, when some of the members on the other side of the House were actively going around campaigning against the various reforms taken by the Bainimarama government then, and of course the Fiji First government, there were travel bans put. So obviously the pool of people that we had to choose from was limited.
Said Qayyum gave detailed analysis of how all these enterprises have made remarkable progresses, turning losses into profits.
The problem with the opposition, they always tend to personalize matters. They always think, they're always looking for some kind of, some kind of controversy. They don't even read the reports. They don't even understand finance. That gentleman and the Three Musketeers, otherwise known as the Three Stooges in our view, Madam Speaker, do not understand what they're talking about. They need to read the statistics. They need to read the annual reports. They need to understand before they ask a question, what is the implication of the question, Madam Speaker. That is the unfortunate thing about them.
The minister says appointments will be made when the government will find the right people. And in the meantime, they are focusing on performance.
One thing they don't realize, we should not appoint people just for the sake of appointing people. Let's get the best people for the right job. The Honourable Prime Minister has been saying, let's appoint people based on merit. If they would have their way, they'd appoint some Mickey Mouse person as the chairman. That's what used to happen previously. You had Mickey Mouses running various boards. People running companies as CEOs just so they could fill their positions. And I can tell you, Madam Speaker, nepotism then was rife.
The minister adds that when an organization is undergoing a restructure or major reform, having an executive chair is important. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The government is not responsible for rebuilding churches and village halls that sustained damage during Tropical Cyclone Winston. Prime Minister Vurengam Bainimarama clarified this in Parliament today, saying they are more focused on restoring buildings and infrastructure that will benefit all Fijians. Akusita Tale reports.
Restoring roads, buildings, schools, jetties and hospitals tops the government's priority list. The Prime Minister was responding to opposition's question on why the government won't assist in rebuilding churches and village halls damaged by TC Winston.
With our limited resources, these are the areas where assistance must be targeted. Madam Speaker, what would the opposition prefer? That while many thousands of Fijians do not have roofs over their heads, government should spend its time and money rebuilding every place of worship in Fiji.
Bainimarama says there are many distraught families in Fiji who have no homes and children are studying without proper schools.
These are the areas that government is focused on. Madam Speaker, we are working to restore the lives of every Fijian affected by the cyclone, regardless of the religion they practice. It is the communities that should be responsible for rebuilding their places of worship and their village halls.
Bainimarama says most of these churches were built from vote buying.
The churches have now been turned as evacuation centers so that they can justify the building of these churches. But basically, it was done for political motive, to get votes.
Bainimarama says their relief efforts will be for the benefit of all Fijians and will not go towards any one religious group. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Families who have lost their homes due to Tropical Cyclone Winston will start receiving financial assistance from next month. The Help for Home initiative was launched by Women Minister Rosie Akbar today. Kelly Vathala reports.
Families whose total annual income falls under $50,000 will be given electronic cards with different amounts of credit.
In this initiative, we are going to give them resources and the know-how to rebuild their homes back better and safer than before. We need to begin the rebuilding process immediately so that these affected Fijians can put this tragedy behind them as soon as possible and put roofs back over their heads and lead normal lives.
Social Welfare Minister Rosie Akbar says only one person per family can apply for this assistance.
The amount loaded on the cards will depend on the extent of damage sustained to the recipient's home. Homes with partial roofing damage qualify to receive $1,500. Homes with complete roofing damage qualify to receive $3,000, and homes that have been completely destroyed will receive $7,000 as per assessments done by the NDMO and officials.
Those living in informal settlements in affected areas will receive $1,500. Applicants who already have their homes repaired can request a refund but need to provide evidence. The initiative does not apply to halls, churches, temples and schools. Akbar says provision is made for individuals whose homes haven't been assessed for damage but have a genuine claim. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, drug traffickers cop 14 years imprisonment. And police are on high alert to ensure safety of athletes for Coke Games. Stay with us.
from Tafwa and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy. I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah. I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks. My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks. We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Australian national Joseph Aborisk and 50-year-old Chosese Muriwanga have each been sentenced to 14 years imprisonment. The duo have been convicted of being in possession of illicit drugs amounting to $23 million in street value. In his ruling, Judge Justice Tushara Rajasinghe said, considering the submissions put before the courts and the gravity of the offence, he based his sentencing on the principle of deference and protection of the community from the offenders of this nature. The two have a non-parole period of 12 years. The 49-year-old driver of Tadiroe Nasinu, who is alleged to have caused the death of two young men last weekend, has been further remanded. Ponipate Turangalevu pleaded guilty to the 2 counts of dangerous driving occasioning death, 2 counts of dangerous driving occasioning bodily harm, driving without a license, and failure to comply with requirements following an accident. Magistrate Waleed George ordered the police prosecutor to revisit the evidence in the summary of facts. The court heard that Turangalevu borrowed the car keys from his brother to buy bread, drove right to the Suva bus stand when he met the 4 young men. The case will be recalled on Monday. Police are on high alert in the capital city to ensure the safety of athletes and spectators at the Coca-Cola Games. The Fiji Police Force has deployed 50 officers to the ANZ Stadium in Suva to supplement the security officers present for the Games. Ellen Stolz tells us more.
Police Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tundravu says officers are also monitoring CCTV cameras that have been set up at the stadium.
We have our K9 unit also deployed down at the gate and also in the surroundings of the complex. So all these have been covered through our deployment. We also have civilian police officers that are down there. This is basically trying to secure for the safety of the leads and also those that are coming down towards us.
Students are being warned to behave well and abide by the law during the games. They must also refrain from sticking their school flags out the window of buses. ACP Tundravu says their traffic department will be monitoring this.
We'll be out in numbers, also in net clubs, checking out patrons in the areas, and I've already issued a directive to the divisional police commanders for us to look at nightclubs that are allowing minors to enter their nightclubs.
The police did not record any incidences on day 1 of the Coca-Cola Games. And ACP Tundravu is advising parents as well as guardians and students to adhere to the rules and remember the spirit of the event. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The success of the Coca-Cola Games isn't confined to the track and field alone. Large crowds mean lots of hungry people, and food vendors look forward to the Games every year. Savari Tambor reports business is good.
Esata Ratudidibi, a mother of 3, is a common sight at the Coke Games. She's been a vendor here for more than 20 years. This is a common spot for barbecue, hot dogs, and roti puzzles. Ratudidibi says the good weather is a blessing.
Yesterday, the event started yesterday afternoon from 4 to 8. We had good sales too. And today is much better because of the good weather.
The game not only brings together school children, but also a time of an annual pilgrimage to the capital city for many families from remote and rural communities.
The destruction caused by TC Winston has not stopped school children of Nambala Secondary School from participating in these Coke Games. Performance of athletes is good, even better than previous years.
The Coke Games have never been just a school competition. Proud parents come to watch their children play. Old sporting rivalries are settled on the track or on the field, and even old scholars get into the spirit of the games. This year's Coke Games has also helped many people forget the tragedy of TC Winston, even if it was for a short while.
Sabay Ratabua, FBC News.
A day away from the much-anticipated Today FM Park Jam, and organisers are ready to get the show rolling. Music lovers will be hosted to a live concert showcasing famous local bands such as Makare, Inside Out and the Soundwave of the Pacific. Other local performances include the Bow Dance Group, Musty Dance Group and world-famous Rako Dance Group. Food stalls and rides for the kids will also be set up. Deputy Program Director Mario Fasala says it's a show not to be missed.
After everything that we've been through this year with the Cyclone Winston, it's an opportunity for the people of Suva to get together and band as a group and just enjoy a night of live entertainment and enjoy the company of each other.
The show starts at 6 p.m. and will be held at the Suva foreshore. And on that note, it's sports time. Another fantastic day at the Coke Games, don't you think, Edwin?
It was definitely a great day for all the schools taking part. But what about you? Any special moments? Any letdowns?
I was disappointed with the officials disqualifying SJS's Helena Young and not showing the same for the senior boys 100-meter finals. But I'm still a very proud OG. And you?
For me, it would have to be the international school's Maya Ramsden. She was running in the 800 meters race.
Definitely.
Definitely. That was one of the best races I saw today. But stay with us. We'll have details on all the Coke Games after the break.
Makete tawa aundo talita na warong na Bula FM number 2 na siya Bula na viti na ko plasio mataire ngon mai na bulo tabiuni au satu ko nanti ando talita na warong na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 na siya.
Good evening. Maris Brothers High School has overtaken Natambua High School in the unofficial medal tally of the Coke Games. Maris Brothers leads with 9 gold, 3 silver and 6 bronze medals. Natambua High School has 8 gold, 7 silver and 1 bronze medal. Queen Victoria School is third, followed by Ratukandavu Levu School and Suva Grammar respectively. Jasper Williams maintains its lead in the girls division, followed by Andi Dakambau School, Suva Grammar, Napuka Methodist and Duvu College respectively. Julian Veitambua of Natambua High School was the winner of the 400 meters final today. Veitambua crossed the tape first ahead of Josefa Vuka of Ratukandavu Levu School and Jeremiah Fifita of Maris Brothers in third place.
All concentration. And they're off. And they're off with a good start on the outside to Suva Grammar's Mikhail Isowale. Natambua, Julian Vuetim, but closing by Jeremiah Fifita from Maris as we go into the stretch. Jeremiah Fifita from Maris will lead into the stretch on the back stretch, but it is on the outside. Natambua and RKS coming in close on that far side, but Jeremiah Fifita keeping the pace on the inside for Maris Brothers. Jeremiah Fifita, as he takes the bend, will look at the field on the outside, but pushing through from the far side, Natambua, but Jeremiah Fifita for Maris will lead them into the 100-meter straight. It's still Jeremiah Fifita, followed by Natambua's Julian Wewatimbao. Julian has taken the lead now with a slight lead, pushing forward. Julian Wewatimbao for the Natambua side and closing in as it will be RKS and Maris, as it was a win for Natambua. Julian Wewatimbao.
Jasper Williams High School took out the senior girls 400 meters final. Merasaini Vukidi fended off stiff challenge from Tinai Tumbuna of Andu Dakambau School to clinch gold.
These young ladies, and out they come from the blocks. The finals for the 400 meters senior girls. Is Merisiana Vukidi anywhere to be seen? Yes, she's coming up close, but it is Namosi Secondary striding off right on that far corner around the bend, leading them into the stretch. Namosi Secondary walking really hard. Now you can see Merisiana Vukidi coming into the picture, striding. She was not close during the zone, but you can see she has the speed, and ACS actually coming behind the Unai City Night Tubuno at a better time. It will be the last 200 meters who can have the speed to actually take it home. And Merisiana Vukidi is now tightening up the speed, and but right close behind is ACS. ACS working hard. Will ACS be able to do it? They come to the last 100 meters. ACS and Jasper contesting right on fire, and Merisiana Bukidi has a slight lead. Can she maintain it? It seems that Athletic is kicking in, but Merisiana Bukidi very determined on this occasion. ACS have to settle for the silver and BMS for the bronze as Jasper goes in for another gold medal claim on those 40 goals up for grabs today, and Merisiana Bukidi has again grabbed the gold for Jasper.
Malania Lewanitonga of Valentine Memorial won the bronze medal. Ilaitia Wangaraindovu of Queen Victoria School is the new secondary school champion in the 100 meters event. He won the race at the Coca-Cola Games this afternoon.
Out she comes, and already at 2 steps ahead of Jasper as Rayawa comes out, leaves everybody over there as we have Jasper just have to make up for the second and the third place, but it is a blistering run from this young lady in the form of Aliwalu Rayawa and the Dhakumbao School, and that shows the caliber of a player, a athlete she is. She was very determined.
And an upset today at the Coke Games. Maya Ramsden of International Secondary School shocked favourite Medeseni Naindau of Jasper Williams High School to win gold in the Open Girls 1,500 metres event at the Coke Games.
I think she's coming in very, very strong, Master. I think Vadiseva will have a say here in the style of this girl.
Thank you, Raymond. You see the riding style of this 800 meters led from International Secondary School. It shows that she has experience in running this race. She will plan it really well. Kick off from the last 200, and now you see she is in the first place.
And it was a close call in the senior boys 1,500 meters event. Melesi Varakula edged Natambua's Farasiko Molevu to the finish line.
They've actually blocked out RKS, and RKS really struggling at that point, and it could mean extra energy, extra determination if they need to beat the Natambua runners, and Natambua runners blocking each other out, and now they actually open up the gap as they've waited for the last 100 meters. Natambua striding, Farasiko showing the speed that he has. Will RKS make it? We have only 3 meters left. RKS quite determined, but Farasiko holding on, and RKS, if I can say, a slight chance for RKS there.
And on to other sports. The Lambasa soccer team knows that playing 2 games this weekend is a huge task. But as Eleanor Turangaivu reports, it's a task they are ready and willing to take on.
Perfecting their skills, the Bambasing Lions are not resting their laurels with 2 games coming up this weekend. Coach Johan Liwai says it will be tough, but they are ready.
I know it's a big task, but given the break period of 10 weeks, so I think that's enough preparation for 2 games.
Lambasa is currently 4th on the points table, having gained 3 points with only 1 game played so far. They hope to improve their standing and come out top of the ladder.
Lambasa players, you know, the boys we have quality players. Yeah? Most of them are contracted by the association. So basically they are paid to play, so they have to train. So they've been training the good players. So I'm quite optimistic. Yeah.
Lambasa meets Nanranga at Lawanga Park tomorrow and will play against Lautoka at Prince Charles Park in Nandi on Sunday. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC Sports.
The Maduata Rugby Union has named its strongest side yet to take on Malolo in its first Skipper Cup game on Saturday. Eleanor Turangaivu reports the team is mainly made up of new and young players.
With over half of the squad made up of development players, the Maduata Rugby team is well on track with its preparation.
We have gone through about 3 weeks now, and there was a big drawback to us regarding the weather we were facing for the last month, this month. Yeah, we are preparing for this week, preparing them well.
Naming the team to take on Malolo, team manager Meli Matarungu says they didn't let the lack of training gear and facilities affect their training.
We have selected the best. That our mission is to win this Saturday for our focus of this year to maintain the top 8.
The youngest player in the team, 21-year-old Willison Indrauna, says he will prove to the selectors he is worthy of the call-up.
I normally come every day for training with the team, and I am proud that I am chosen to be part of the Madawata team.
The Madawata side is urging supporters to come fill up Subrail Park on Saturday as they take on Malolo at 3 p.m. Eleanor Turangeviu, FBC Sports.
And that wraps up sports on this Friday evening. Back to Jackie.
The tourism industry continues to punch above its weight despite the damage caused by Cyclone Winston in Parliament. Tourism Minister Faiz Koya highlighted how tourist arrivals have remained buoyant with the sector's projected growth on track. Maggie Boyle with this story.
Tourist dollars are keeping the economy in the black, and despite the recent cyclones, the sector remains intact.
Q1 of 2016 has shown a strong growth of 10.2% or a record 158,069 visitor arrivals. Madam Speaker, all this growth, despite Cyclone Winston, shows the strength and resilience of our economy.
Tourism Minister Faiz Koya says a number of other initiatives are in place to complement this growth.
The direct route to Singapore will open up new high-spending source markets in Asia, Europe and Middle East. The industry, apart from the mass market appeal based on sun, sand and sea, to niche markets targeting high-end visitors.
Koya adds the $22 billion tourism target is expected to be met in the next 5 years. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Bredbank will now be able to sell Sun Insurance products from all of their branches. This has been made possible through a new partnership between the bank and the insurance company. At the official launch of the partnership last night, Sun Insurance Chief Executive Lolesh Sharma said they decided to partner with Bredbank because the two companies work very well together.
We see a lot of synergies with each other, very modern in its outlook. That's what Sun is, very technologically focused. We're wanting to services is paramount to our vision.
Mainly fine weather was experienced over the country today, a trough of low-pressurized, slow-moving over northern Cooks. Meanwhile, a broad easterly wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific Island countries. Temperatures in all centres were in lower 30s, except Suva, which recorded 29 degrees. Forecast for tomorrow is fine apart from brief showers about the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon showers. And the outlook for Sunday, it's occasional showers about Kandavu, southern Lao Group, and the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, moderate to rough seas. Recapping the top stories for tonight, Prime Minister pays tribute to the sacrifice of Gurmatia's state-owned businesses turning profits, and government's rebuilding exercise will focus on benefiting all Fijians. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to the poll question for this week, we are asking, are developed countries doing enough to fight climate change? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nimodmanda.
आपको करगंगा के रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोरो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाचोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब वता में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।